Break on through. Here I is, 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm looking at the computer, see if I can read your comments and questions any better than I normally do. We'll let some people get in here, but I tell you what, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so I'm gonna try to cram a lot into this. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some of this. I won't start the history lesson until everybody's in the house. Well, first of all, did you guys enjoy Mad Brother Ward yesterday? What about Malcolm on Sunday? Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to coincide with what Malcolm was talking about today because, well, I'll explain that in a minute. But, man, that thing Malcolm did had me and my wife rolling. Good gosh. But anyway, last week I started off with some cryptic things about, people wanting to be dead and stuff. I'm gonna explain that because I had people writing me going, man, what the hell are you talking about? It was a cryptic message, and I don't like cryptic messages, so there I go doing it, which is terrible. But yeah, it basically this, man. All over Facebook, there's people that know me pretty well, very well, and they know how I believe politically and socially, yet they will still lump me in with groups of people that they think should die. And I'm just like, well, if you want these people to die, I guess you want me to. But you know what? I'm not going to acknowledge that anymore. If that's the way they feel, it's the way they feel. What am I going to do to change it? At this point, I really don't care anymore. But hope everybody's doing good, man. I think a lot of states are getting ready to open up. I hope some people are going back to work. But let's see. I'm gonna cross that off my list. The cryptic messages. That's all that was. Did you guys enjoy seeing Bill Cates on here? First ANTiSEEN bass player came on and joined me for a few minutes. I enjoyed having him. I really like the conversation that we had. But I mean, he wasn't on very long, and as normally happens, once we cut the phone off and stopped filming, we sat in there at the table, and man, Bill had me cracked up telling stories, and I was just like, man, this is the stuff we should have been saying on camera, and I told him I'd have him back, and we would try to recapture that and tell that story. I mean, I'm telling you, it's really wild getting a different perspective of something that happened to you, 20 and 30 years ago, and hearing someone else's perspective. He had me rolling. So I'm gonna have him back. I also spoke to my brother Greg Clayton today, and he's gonna come on, break on through very soon. Another guest I'm gonna have, you know him, you love him, the Dean of Sods. That's right, the Dean of Sods is gonna be here live on Break On Through. I also had a conversation with Thomas O'Keefe last night, and we're going to give him access to the ANTiSEEN page, and he is going to do one of these programs that me, Russ, and Malcolm are doing. He said he wanted to do maybe 2. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I'm trying to keep all this straight today, man. You'll see why in a second. You know, something Russ showed last night. A very old, very rare thing that ANTiSEEN did. We had an ANTiSEEN fan club, like in our 5th year, and we did a magazine called Screamzine. It was supposed to be about our first 5 years. It came with a cassette copy of us live at the Park Elevator in Charlotte. But man, I'm thinking about reprinting those books. What do y'all think about that? Maybe even doing the whole damn cassette package and everything. And that unused artwork that Russ showed. Man, I hadn't laid eyes on that. I don't know, man, 40 years, 30 years, I don't know, 35 years. And I think I want to do something with that too down the road. But I was gonna say to you that, you know, I'm really taking into consideration what the feedback you guys give me on here when I ask you. Like, I asked you if if we should leave the white noise in what will be the reissue of Southern Hostility, and it was a unanimous yes, leave the white noise in. So you spoke, I listen. I'm the unimpeachable president for life. I listen to the people. The people have spoke. The white noise will be intact in the Southern Hostility reissue. And of course, it will be sonically remastered to hurt your eardrums worse than it ever has before. But that's down the road a little bit. All right, that's done. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We also discussed maybe doing something for Christy and Sam Hughes, you know, with Tom passing, and I'm telling you guys, just trying to plan a show right now is not a smart way to go, because you could do all this work on it, plan it for the end of summer, and then, you know, some bullshit's going to happen again, and since a lot of these senators have been able to shut us down for, you know, the pandemic, I don't think that's the last time it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So, but I would also like to tell you that I was in touch with an old friend of ours, Ron Feldman. He's the CEO at Zodiac Killer Records. He has agreed to donate a stack. I don't know how many he's got, but he's sending them to me, of the live Hellstomper album he did, and all the covers are signed by all 4 members, and these are very rare. There's not many of them out there, but I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna offer them to you guys here on the podcast, and other than some shipping money, all the proceeds I'm going to send to Christy and Sam. I mean, that's something we can do to get started. You know, I'm sure there'll be many other things down the road. I just kind of want them to, you know, not feel like, you know, we come to the rescue here at the beginning and then, you know, forget about it. But so yeah, that's going to be happening real soon. And I'm going to keep you posted about anything I hear about any kind of service for Tom, or if there will even be one, you know, and that the public can come to. But I see you talking about the record right now, the Hell Stomper record. But listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna go this way. When they come to me, the very next show I do, I'll tell you I have them, and it's gonna have to be first come first serve, man. I can't hold them, you know. I'm gonna have to let you guys tell you how many we got, and you can hit it right. You can hit it right then while I'm on the screen with you. So I would like to thank Ron Feldman for that. That's really stand-up move. I really appreciate it. I'm sure the family will too. But okay, I got one more. I got a fun thing I want to do here. Do you guys remember the record we did, EP Royalty? You should. I talked about it just a few episodes back. It had the song on it called Ruby, Get Back to the Hills, right? In case you don't know what that means, that is about the movie The Hills Have Eyes. Actually, it's about the movie The Hills Have Eyes 2. And a lady by the name of Janice Blythe played the character of Ruby. Well, man, about, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago, someone hit me to the fact that the new Hills Have Eyes soundtrack had liner notes written in it by Janice, and that she mentioned our song, you know, being about her character Ruby, and she mentioned Hank 3 covered Ruby Get Back to the Hills, you know, and on a split with us, and so I've kind of been in touch with her for the last little bit, and, you know, I've got the shirt available now, you know, the Ruby Get Back to the Hills ANTiSEEN shirt, and I made some that I thought was in her size. I actually messed up, and they're too big. I gotta get her some smaller ones, but I sent her some, and she was really thrilled to get them, and she's you know, I told her I'm just a fanboy wanting to show my appreciation, and she sent me back a bunch of 8x10s of her and her various movies. This one says, "To Jeff, always Janice Blythe." And here we got one, you know, the famous pose from the movie. "To Jeff," from my number one fanboy, Ruby, Janice Blythe. Another one, "To Jeff," from Ruby. And here's one she says, "Jeff, Ruby in the Hills." And then she got one, "Jeff, Ruby out of the Hill." And another one that just says, Janice Blythe, Ruby. So yeah, I was really thrilled to get these. You know, we've gone back and forth. I checked on her, see how she's holding up during the lockdown. She's same as all of us. Says she don't like being told what to do, but you know. And I want to thank Mr. Art Ettinger for putting me in touch with Janice after all these years of having that song. And now she finally, you know, she knows about it and appreciates the notoriety. All right, now the history lesson starts. That's enough fun stuff. Now it's time to go to school. History lesson. And what I'm going to do, man, I went back and listened to my program from last week, and I realized I started a fantastic story and didn't finish it. That seems to be what I do sometimes. But remember me starting the story about us doing a tour of the whole country, and we called it the natural disasters tour. Well, I'm going to do a quick recap and then pick up from there. Okay, we started in Charlotte. We went up toward Cleveland. We stayed with our buddy Tom Dark. We were supposed to play Peoria. And apparently the evening before the show, the guy that was booking the show read the press kit and decided there would be no show. So Peoria's out. And then we play some more. We go over to Chicago. They have a serious water main problem in downtown. It floods the entire downtown area. They've got roads cut off everywhere, you know, because ANTiSEEN's coming to town. We have a gigantic water main break. So there was no one at our show, you know. And so we drive all the way across the Midwest. We end up in Lawrence, Kansas. This is where we meet Cop News for the first time, and this was the beginning of the Confederacy of Scum, which in other episodes I'll go over that a lot, you know, in a lot more detail. But that's where I ended, and I went off on something else. But I'm going to stay on track now, and I'm going to finish the story. So we're in Lawrence, Kansas, and our next show is in Spokane, Washington. So what I'm understanding is, like, it's a 23-hour drive, and we had 21 hours to get there. Well, man, being the road warriors that we are, we never turned down a challenge. So here we go to Spokane, Washington. Well, man, we get into the Rocky Mountains, and there's a blizzard. A blizzard probably like none of us had ever seen before, being from the East Coast. And, man, we saw transfer trucks and trailers sliding all over the place. Saw guys just leaving their trucks and walking and trying to find a hotel. And, man, at this point, we can't... you know, the Death Star, the truck we got from Jimmy Repo with all the stickers on it, and the rebel flags and the flashing lights and all that. It was not going to make it through those mountains, man. So Spokane's canceled. So we slide into a hotel and stay there overnight, and then I don't remember. Yeah, I do. The next night we were playing Eureka. No, we played up like Portland, Seattle, Bellingham, Washington. Then we were making our way down to Eureka, California. But guess what happened? They had an earthquake. Eureka, California, the town we're getting ready to play, was hit with an earthquake. Well, you know, we don't have computers in our pockets at this time, and so we said, well, man, we might as well just go to Eureka and just see what's going on. You know, maybe some places. Well, we get there, we find out that the block that the club is on that we're playing, they have power. The show's still on. So we go, and man, it's ANTiSEEN and Citizen Fish. I should have put that in the list of groups that make you guess what groups we played with and which ones we didn't. I'd have never guessed this one either. But needless to say, man, we don't really have a lot in common with Citizen Fish. And they don't really talk to us. We don't really talk to them. You know, we just place is packed when they're on. All these kids digging that ska, and then we come on. The place clears out. There's a good bit of them standing there, and man, when we come on and we do our thing, man, they're just looking at us like why all the aggro, It wasn't a fun night. It was an interesting night, but it wasn't a fun night. But we got paid, so we left, and we ended up playing with them again in Portland with Rancid Vat. It's kind of like we had someone in our corner then, and we played the Satyricon Club in Portland, where Rancid Vat was banned from. And but Whiskey Rebel still came out to the, we were staying with him. He still came out to the show, and to show solidarity to Rancid Vat, we all wore the same Rancid Vat shirt on stage, and I was pretty proud about that. Yeah, it was pretty neat being there and seeing Pig Champion in the audience, and not only did we see him, did he watch us, but then afterwards he came and hung out with us at Phil's house, and man, I'm gonna tell you, that was an experience that I am glad I had, and I would not have believed it had I not seen it with my own eyes. Me and Joe were just sitting there with Pig. And he's pounding Newcastles, one in each hand. Down. He asked Phil if he had a block of cheese. So Phil gave him a block of cheese. Man, he's sitting there eating this cheese. I mean, it's like one Newcastle after another. Me and Joe just had a few beers, man, and we're just like, and then he's drinking some bourbon that the Reb had there. Then he's smoking some black tar heroin. And man, me and Joe is about to pass out. Not Pig. Full on, man. All that stuff in him. He's not sleepy. I think he was probably the last one up in the whole house. And I was glad I got to experience that. He was a fine fella. I really liked hanging out with him, and talking to him. Hell, we talked to him all night until we passed out. But so then I guess was Eureka. we were up there first, then going down to Eureka with the earthquake. So then, I think the next show was San Francisco. We had to drive all night to get there from Eureka. And Joe was the road warrior, man. He's the one that drove the all-nighters. I'm the all-night guy now. I'm the night shift guy now, but it used to be Joe. And we're riding in that bus, and everyone's asleep. And I was kind of looking out the window, and Joe's, riding down the road. We were listening to some Lori Morgan or something like that. And man, all of a sudden the trees started getting huge. It's like we're shrinking. And it turns out we're in the redwood forest. And Joe's driving, he goes, "Clayton." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, look out the window." I said, "Yeah, I have been." And I said, "Man, pull over." And we pulled over, and we realized, oh man, we're in the redwood forest. Look at these gigantic trees. We took a leak in the redwood forest, and then Joe went to sleep, and then I took the rest of the drive into San Francisco. And Man, with the San Francisco show made up for all the rest of the other shows getting canceled and all this stuff because we played a place called Brave New World. We played with a group called Grief. They were fine fellas. But this is the night or the day that we met the Cosmic Commander of Wrestling. He was living in San Francisco at the time, working for the mail service out there, and Todd Cody, who did Rave Records and was booking the tour, he knew him. And man, he just knew we would get along. He's like, man, I got this guy I'm going to introduce you guys to, and he gave us the rundown. He had a TV show and all this, and a cable access show, probably better quality than what you're looking at right now. But well, yeah, he comes over to Todd Cody's, man, and it was like we had met a long lost brother. And another all-night session, staying up talking. Cosmo's screaming, neighbors yelling down at, shut up, man, fuck you, that kind of shit, all night long. And he introduced us for the very first time in San Francisco at Brave New World. And man, everybody was at that show. God damn. I think Jello was there, Blag was there. Yeah, it was a good one too. One of the ones that we're known for, and so that's all and well, and we think, well, maybe the rest of this trip is going to be all right. So we go from San Francisco. Now we're going to L.A. And man, we stopped at a gas station along the way, and Joe would always pick up USA Today, and he was reading about, and he's like, man, they're going to do that verdict on those cops that during the Rodney King thing today. He goes, this has the potential to be okay or be really bad. So we didn't have we just listened to the radio to see if we could see what was going on, and we get into LA, and we're supposed to meet one of the guys from Flipside, and right now I cannot think of the fellow's name, but we go to his place, and we had a shotgun with us. So, oh, and by the way, we're riding in LA with this half bus that's painted white, stickers all over the back of it, with a big Confederate flag on the top part where the brake light, when you put on the brake and the flashlight just go like this. So yeah, we're riding in LA, and we're wondering why people are looking at us like they want to fucking kill us. But we get to the guy at Flipside's place, and Flipside magazine, in case some of you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But he came down, man, he was white as a sheet. He says to us, man, do you guys know what's going on? We're like, no. He goes, come upstairs. So he went upstairs. We had this little device that we could play a TV on, but you couldn't play it going down the road. It just wouldn't pick up. But we were just like, I think me and Joe stayed downstairs, and everybody else went upstairs, and we were plugging that thing up, trying to get it, and man, what we could get on the TV did not look good. All the helicopters flying over didn't look good, and the billows of smoke didn't look good. So we're just like, what the fuck, man? And he comes down, and it turns out Joe was correct. That verdict didn't go right. I don't know if this was the day or the day after. I think it was day one, man. But he was telling us, well, the show's still on. And the show's down on Pico Avenue. Like, where this shit is lighting off. And we're like, you know what, man? Fuck that. as jumpy as we are, we'd have got that shotgun out and probably shot someone and been all over the news. Some band was playing with us there. I'm not, goddamn it, might have been fucking Citizen Fish for all I know. But I saw, on the internet later, they're like, "Oh, big bad ANTiSEEN didn't stay." Man, we ain't power to the people type thing, man. We're just like, get the fuck out of here while this shit's blowing up. And man, we got out just in time, because as soon as we got off the exit, we were headed to Albuquerque. Man, that they shut all the exits. There was nobody going in, nobody going out, and we timed it perfect. So, yeah, we're disappointed that another show is canceled. But the real reason I'm pissed off is because when we got to L.A., we were supposed to meet up with Rudy Ray Moore. That's right. Dolomite. I mean, when I say Dolomite, do you know what I'm talking about? I talked to Rudy Ray Moore on the phone, and I told him, I said, "Man, we're coming to town, and we want to take you out to dinner. We're going to take you to a steakhouse." And man, he was so gracious and so looking forward to it, just like we were, And but we had to hightail it, and we did not get to take Rudy Ray Moore to the steakhouse. But it was very nice to find out that he called my house back in Carolina and checked with my wife to make sure we got out of town okay. I thought that was really nice. But all night drive to Albuquerque. So we get to Albuquerque, and we play this bizarre club, man. I don't know what the club was called, but we played with a group called the ANTiSEEN, whom we have played with, a few times up to that point. And man, there was these steep stairs that went beside the bathroom. The stage in the club was on top of the bathroom, so people are going to the bathroom, shitting and pissing and puking and whatever else they're doing in the bathroom under you while you're up there playing, and this place had lights that you could have put in a coliseum, and they're like this far from you, so you're melting. Joe was so tired, he says, "Man," he goes, "I thought I was hallucinating," and there was nothing to keep you from falling off the edge of this thing. I mean, it would have been like a 8 or 9 foot drop down to the floor if you stepped off, which I figured I would be the one to do that. But we got through it, and so next we're heading to Austin, another long drive. And on the way to Austin, we hear that a bunch of Austin is shut down because they're having Rodney King verdict protest. This tour is a disaster. It's a disaster. Then I think we made it to New Orleans. And then I think after that we're headed home. And when we're pushing that bus hard, man. And it's Sunday late afternoon when we go through Homer, Louisiana. And that thing breaks down, man. Just on interstate. There's nothing around. Sunday. Jeff Young is getting on the CB radio trying to talk to truckers to help us, and no one will reply to him, no one will answer, and man, he gets pissed. He goes, "So I've always heard that out on the road a trucker will stop and help you." He's saying this in the mic to the trucker. "I heard the truckers will stop and help you." "Well, I guess that's just a damn lie." He's losing it. We're all about to lose it at this point. So we finally get a place. I think we had to walk to a payphone. We called this place, and man, there was one place in Homer, Louisiana, open at like 3 or 4 o'clock on this Sunday afternoon. And this guy got a tow truck and towed us in. This old black guy, man, ran the shop by himself, and man, he got under that thing. He got it in the damn engine. He fixed that thing. I mean, it cost a bit, but we're on the road, right? And man, when all was said and done, we've been gone for, almost a month. And we pulled back into Charlotte, and yeah, it's a short. And we pulled back into Charlotte, and then I think we're splitting up the money. First thing back then, the first thing that came out of tour money was the damn phone bill money. So Tom had to get his phone bill money. Man, this is a month-long, almost a month-long tour. God damn, this phone bill must have been close to $500. But there goes most of what we had left. I think when it was all said and done, we all folded a nice, crisp $20 bill for each of us. After all that, owing money on merch. Most bands would have packed their little guitars in their cases and went home and said, "I'm done." Not us. Just another damn bump to go over. Bring on the next bump. Well, that's the Natural Disasters Tour story. Now, when I meet up with you guys again on Friday, we're going to talk about a transition period from Southern Hostility into the lineup that would be the Eat More Possum lineup. Lots of good stories there. And I'd also like to say that we now have a band camp page, account, whatever. For those who want, some of this stuff downloaded that we've put out in the last few years, you can go to there. I don't know. I think it's on the TKO page. Man, I don't know anything about this. I don't know nothing about it. I just know you go to it, download some stuff, order albums direct from TKO, or you can keep ordering direct from us. And it's another way to get this stuff. And in closing, I just want to say that I have like 2 copies left of those drastics that were signed by me and Bill, if anyone's interested. And I still got a couple of those EP royalty unused sleeves. Hit me up on private message. Let's see. I'm going to do one more thing if I can make this happen. Hold 1 second. Rebecca, can you bring Jack in here? I guess you guys saw my post this past week. By the way, I want to thank Brad Mullins for providing me with this nice stand. You notice the damn thing wasn't sliding and slipping. I wasn't sticking it in a roll of tape and taping it with duct tape so it wouldn't fly. That's like a nice stand. Thank you, Brad, so much. But we got a new member to the family. His name is Cactus Jack Clayton. Why is it called Cactus Jack? You're probably asking me right now. Well, he's got half an ear. He's got scars all over him. We figured it was a natural. Everyone meet Cactus Jack. Hey, Cactus. Say hey to the people. Whenever...
Your hands in there.
Oh, it is? How's it now? Is it good now?
Say hey, everybody.
And there's my beautiful wife, Rebecca. Rebecca, say hi to the people.
Hey, everybody.
A lot easier on the eyes than looking at old JC, ain't it? There's Jack. He's a great dog.
Being bashful.
Yeah, he's a great dog. And I'm not much of a pet person, but I swear this is the most well-behaved dog I've ever seen in my life. But well, all right, this wraps up Tuesday. Still going to keep going with the history if that's what everyone wants to hear. You want to hear history? I'll give you history. You want to ask me questions? I'll answer questions. Feel free to write me private message if you got questions. I mean, I'll answer you, but there's some that I want to discuss. My main Dave Prino wrote me with a really good question about you know, the repercussions of doing an album with G.G. Allin. Were there some? Kinda not. I'll go into that at some point. But we're getting ready. Once we get into that Eat More Possum thing, that segues into the forming and the recording and the release, and finally releasing of the Carolina Shit Kickers. All right, well, ANTiSEEN's practicing tomorrow for the first time in almost 2 months. Yeah, I don't think we practiced this sometime in February. It should sound great. And David Shaver, how's Little Winter? Thank you for asking, David. I also want to, I really want to thank everyone who has contributed to Little Winter's GoFundMe. It's really helping, you know, her parents out, especially during all this. I mean, they're doing good, I guess. They got their unemployment and all this stuff. They're not working right now. They were restaurant employees, so it may be a little bit before they go back. But yeah, Winter's going to get another a brain scan soon, and her mother will tell me the results. I have not seen Little Winter in 2 months, and it's maybe a little over now, and it's really getting to me. And so I don't post anything unless I get the okay from her mom. You know, that's her parents' deal. But I get a lot of people asking. A lot of people. I mean, I know people like to make fun of people when they say that they're sending their thoughts and their prayers. But man, I'm telling you, when that's what you've got, we take it, man. That little kid needs all the help she can get. And we love her, and we love the fact that so many of you out there care. But thanks for asking. And I'll do one of these shows where I just answer all your questions. I don't know, it may be sooner than later. But you guys take care. Malcolm will be, I'll be back with you Friday. I'll get a new location, let you see some more good shit in here. And Malcolm will be back with you on Sunday, and I don't know, we may get Tom in next week sometime. So you guys take care. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. See you again soon when it's time to break on through to the other side.